welcome to my channel. I still remember my humble self, MC Bernardino. Alright, welcome to my channel. This is Canada Immigration with MC Bernardino, where I basically dish out information as far as migrating to Canada is concerned. Alright, if you're new on this channel, you've got your hands full. First thing first, kindly hit the subscription button and hit the notification button right beside it so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be among the first to get it. Also, feel free to drop question, comment. If you're not clear about anything, drop it in the comment section below. I try as much as possible to revert back. If you enjoyed this video too, feel free to hit the thumbs up button. Follow me on my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook. I revert back as soon as possible. All right, without further ado, what I have for you today. On today's episode, I'll be telling you about how you can apply for Canadian visa, especially if you're in Nigeria. This video is geared towards those that are in Nigeria. If you're in Africa by extension, you can also get 1 or 2 tips from this video also. It's also cut across the world too. All right. So in the past, I've done a video on how you can apply for your study permit, how you can apply for your work permit. But on today's program, I'll be talking about how you can apply for your Canadian visa, precisely talking about how you can apply for your visitor's visa. Yes, there are numerous ways you can do this. You can either apply for your tourist visa to come into Canada. You can apply for your business visa. It's also there for you. Or you can apply for your super visa. That's for parents, for grandparents that wish to come and see their children in Canada. That's another opportunity for you. You can also try to extend your visa if you already applied in the past. So I've got a loaded information for you today. But before I delve into that, let me quickly tell you about my disclaimer like I always do. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a consultant. I'm just doing this out of my own volition. Nobody's paying me to do this because I know the importance of information, right? And I know it needs to be gotten as at when due. And that's why I've decided to do this for you, because I remember way back when I was in Nigeria, I was yearning to come into Canada. There was no information, and I decided to create this platform now in Canada just to sensitize, to inform you, so that people like you, my viewers, can actually get tips on how you can migrate to Canada. All right, so hang on tight. Get yourself ready, get your chair, sit down, relax. While I come back to you and I dissect to you how you can apply to Canada visa from Nigeria.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Alright, so if you're applying for your Canadian visa, especially from Nigeria, you can actually do it yourself. I know some people actually depend on applying through agents, paying through agents, and some agents actually swindle them by taking their money and not doing the proper thing for them, or probably using a fake credit card to pay the process fee. All right, but I can tell you today, I brought good information to you that if you listen carefully, if you follow due diligence, you can actually apply yourself without actually going through agent. You can apply online or you can do a paper application. But for me, I advise you to do an online application. Reason being that it's more faster. You can upload your document. If they request additional information, you can always do it online by sending more information, and it is faster. The response rate, it is very fast. So I encourage you, if you want to apply, why not do it yourself? Apply online. It saves you some cost. That is the reason why you have to apply yourself. All right, so what do you need? If you have to apply yourself, all you just need is you need your credit card, which you use to pay the application fee, and you also need a scanner that you will use to scan some of your documents, like your international passport, some of the documents that you claimed you have. You need a scanner that you can use. So with that, you can actually do this yourself. All you have to do is just to pay the application fee. All right, so what are the requirements? If you have to apply online, what are the things you need? What are the forms you need? First thing first, you need the document checklist form, which is the IMM 5484. That is very important because it's a checklist. You have to checklist. You have to tick every document, every requirement on it, and you need to also upload it while you're submitting your application. Another thing again you need is you need your IMM 5873, which is the visa office instruction form. That is IMM 5873. That is also a requirement. You also need your family information form, which is the IMM 5702. That is where you put in all your family information, as far as your siblings, your mom, your dad, everybody, all those information, you put it in there. Why do you need that IMM 5707? You need it because when you come into Canada on a visit, at the end of the day, if you have to invite your parents or something needs to be attached to your family, the information you provided initially can always be used as a reference. So you need to fill it accurately without any misrepresentation. Another thing again you want to look into is you need 5409, IMM 5409. What is that? It's a statutory declaration of common law union. So if you're married, that form is for you. You need that, IMM 5409. Something again, if you're using a representative, that means if someone is doing it for you, if you're not doing it yourself, you also need IMM 5476 form. That is the use of representation form. But if you're not using a representative, you can actually do that yourself without needing the form I just mentioned. So with this form, if you fill it carefully online, you put in all the information accurately. Once again, I need to tell you this. If you're applying for your visitor's visa, please make sure that you put in all the information accurately. No misrepresentation. I've seen in the past some of my friends, they try to apply misrepresentation. As a result of that, you might be banned for 5 years. You don't want to do that. So on this channel, I always encourage you how you can do it legally without misrepresentation. So that's something you want to watch out for. Filled all these forms that I've itemized and you have all your documents, you've scanned all those documents, you uploaded them. What you need to do about this form is this. It's not enough for you to just fill the form. You need to validate the form. So at the end of the form, when you're done filling all these forms online, you click on validate. So when you click on the validate, it generates a barcode for you. That barcode is very significant. You cannot afford not to validate your form, because if you don't validate your form, then that means it is not accurate. So another thing I need to tell you is this. Whenever you do any alteration, you do any changes on your form, always validate. The validation is always the last thing you want to do. So whenever you do any correction on your form, make sure you always validate your form. And once you validate your form, you also need to print and sign your name on the form too. It is very important to print and you sign your name. So it also must be dated. So the date must be the date you fill the form. Don't forget to do that. All right. So make sure that you fill all this form, you validate it, and let's talk about how much. How much do you need to pay in order for you to apply for your visitor's visa? So the last time I checked, you need to pay $100, 100 Canadian dollars. You multiply that. I think in Nigeria that will be going to like 28,000 naira, if I'm not mistaken, for your visitor's visa. And in addition to that, as at last year, mid 2018. They introduced biometrics. So that means even if you want to apply for your visitor's visa, you need to do your biometrics. So biometric simply means that going to the nearest Canada office, I think it's in Victoria Island, you go there, they take your fingerprints, take everything, and that's all. I think it's about 85 Canadian dollars. So you have to convert that to Nigerian money to know how much that is. So in total, you'll be looking at 185 Canadian dollars. That's around 50,000 Canadian and Nigeria naira. So with that, you can apply for your visitor's visa. So what are the requirements? What are the things that you need in order for you to apply for your visitor's visa, in order to stand a better chance? Because there are some things you need to also submit to. Apart from the forms that I've given you, there are some requirements that are expected of you in order for you to make your visa application very concrete and to stand a better chance to apply for your Canadian visa, visitor's visa precisely. What are the requirements you need if you're applying for Nigeria? Yes, I've already told you about the IMM 5257 form and already told you about the IMM 5645 forms in addition to the other forms I've told you about. What are the additional requirements you need? You need an international passport. It is very important because that's what your visa will be stamped upon. All right, something you need to know about the international passport is that it needs to be valid for a minimum of 6 months as at the date you are applying. If it is later than that, it will not be honored. So you need to make sure you check that. All right, in addition to that, you need 2 passport photographs on a white background. The requirement, I'll be linking it in this video in order for you to know what the requirements are in terms of your passport photograph. In addition to this, you need to have your application fee. Don't forget I told you for a family of 1, visitor's visa is $100. If it's a family of 5, it is 500 Canadian dollars. Don't forget the biometric fee I told you about, $85. You have to change that to Nigeria currency to know how much that is. For one person, biometric $85. All right. Another thing again you need to note is that you need to have sufficient proof of fund. Yes. Minimum of 3 to 6 month bank statement needs to be there, so that proves that when you come into Canada on your visitor's visa, business visa, super visa, as the case may be, you have sufficient money to take care of yourself while you're in Canada, in terms of health, in terms of feeding, accommodation, everything. Because Canada government want to be sure that when you come into Canada, you're not a burden to the Canadian government. So that's why proof of fund is very important. 3 to 6 months, you need to have that. In addition to this, you need to make sure that you have a ties. Your ties to Nigeria, it is very, very important, because I've seen so many reasons why visitors' visa were denied to Nigerians. One of the strongest reasons is lack of ties. So that means that if you don't have sufficient ties that ties you back home, showing that when you're done your visit in Canada, you return back to Nigeria, then your visa might not be granted, it might be ignored. So what are the things that you can use to serve as a tile? So take for instance, if you're working in Nigeria, you need to get a letter from your employer that shows that you're working, how much you're earning. So the more you can prove this, it can show that, okay, probably when you come in on a visit, they are sure that when you're done, you have a job to revert back to Nigeria. In addition to this, if you have your family back home, your children back home, so that shows that if you come to visit in Canada, you still have your family to revert back to. Landed properties, things like that, there are things that you can use to prove tiles to coming back to Nigeria. Your business, your assets, these are additional things that you can use. So try as much, there's never too much. It can always be too less. So what you can do, try as much as possible to put in as much information that you can put, as much documents that you can attach to your file, so that you stand a better chance of getting your visitor's visa. So also, I advise if you can get your visa booked, if you are lodging in a hotel in Nigeria, in Canada, get your hotel, get the booking, get the itinerary, attach it to this, because it also helps you to build your reputation in front of the Canadian immigration officer that is assessing your file. So in addition to this, if you have travel history in the past, you've been to so many places, probably you've been to Dubai, you've been to London, you've been to so many places in the past, why not attach those passport scan those pages on your passport to show that you've been outside, you've been to other countries in the past, and you've returned back to Nigeria. You stand a better chance with that, because when the immigration officer sees that, you stand a better chance to be, he or she might be convinced that you'll probably return back after your visit in Canada. So that's one thing you want to do. So if you are a minor, that means if you're under 18 and you're applying, you need like a sponsor or your guardian to attest for you while you are submitting or applying for your Canada visa. Okay guys, so once you fill all this application form, you scan all the necessary documents. Once again, how you do the payment, you can do the payment through your credit card. So make sure your credit card is genuine. I've seen a situation whereby someone paid a representative to pay to help someone, an agent as the case may be, to help apply for his visa study permit, and at the end of the day, the credit card that was used was fraudulent. As a result of that, the visa was denied. So you want to make sure that you have a valid credit card or debit card. Debit card is also allowed to go to your bank, get this information, get this card, and you can use it to make your payment. You can also make your payment online. You can submit your application online. Alternatively, for those that are applying from Nigeria, you have the VFS office. So at the VFS office, if you decide to apply not online, you can print out all this information after you validated them, print out all this information, scan all the documents, make photocopies of them, put them in the envelope, and go to your nearest VFS office. I think it is on VI or Lekki, I can't really remember. So go there, submit your application fee. There's a processing fee that they charge for that too. Submit everything, do your biometric right there. Then you submit your passport. I think you have to submit your international passport, and everything will be sent to Canadian Embassy for processing of your application. So it's either you can apply online, do everything online yourself. All you have to do is just go do your biometric. They will give you so once you apply online and you pay your processing fee, they give you a reference number that you will use when you want to go for your biometric, and your biometric will be done. But if alternatively you decide to do it yourself at the VFS office, take all your application, fill everything, make sure you do your check and balancing very well. Do the checklist, make sure everything is accurate, then go to the nearest VFS office, submit your application, pay for your biometric, get everything done, and wait for your feedback. So let's talk about the processing time. Averagely, on the website, on Canadian immigration website, for Nigerian applying for a visitor's visa, it takes a minimum of 64 days. It can be more than that, but also it can be less than that. So that's average of 2 months, your application, you'll get a feedback regarding your application, whether you're granted or not. So once again, on this channel, I can't guarantee whether you're going to get your application or you're not going to get it approved or not. What I can tell you is that if you do your due diligence, submit everything that you're required to submit, make the necessary payments, don't leave any loopholes. Make sure you fill every vacuum that you're supposed to fill. You might stand a chance. There's this myth that people are always talking about that, oh, if you're youth, if you're young, you cannot get Canadian visa, it's hard to get. Yes, I know it's so tough. It's not so easy to come by. It's not easy to get the visa. But if you do your due diligence, you submit all the necessary application, you prove your tiles, then you stand a better chance of getting it. So why not give it a shot? Don't stand in denial. Don't think it's not possible. Don't go by what people say. You can also give it a shot too. Who knows? You might be lucky. You might find a way into Canada. So lastly, before I wrap up, I need to let you know that if you come into Canada, they can give you a single entry. So that means that it's just a single entry. Once you come For you to come back again, you have to apply for another visa. Or they can give you a multiple visa. Multiple visa means that if they give you a 2 years multiple visa, that means within 2 years you can always go in and come out. So that's a multiple visa, whatever the case is. And one thing again you need to know is that once you come in on the visitor's visa, the maximum period you can stay is 6 months. So within 6 months, anything above 6 months, you can't. You have overstayed your welcome. So that means that within that 6 months, you need to go out again, probably to Nigeria or whatever country you have a visa before you can come into Canada again. But those that have super visa, for the parents that are coming in to see their children, their grandkids, if you apply for your super visa, you can get 2 years. So within that 2 years, you can even stay beyond 6 months if it's a super visa. So get it right. This super visa is different from the visitor's visa I just spoke about. For the grandparents, they can get the super visa, they can stay beyond 6 months. All right, it's been a wrap. If you feel you enjoyed this video, why not hit the subscription button, hit the thumbs up button, share this video with your loved ones. If you have any questions, something you're not clear about, I'll be linking some websites in this video, in the description, and you see this website, and you can always get additional information. Ask me a question, I'll revert back to you as soon as possible. I have a very fantastic quote from former president of Iran, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. I hope I got that right. So he said, "We believe that visa quotas should be lifted and people should visit anywhere they wish freely." Sound interesting. Think about that. That is deep. So that means it's simply saying that countries should try as much as possible to take out the embargo on visitors' visa, the place, so that people can always visit wherever they want to visit freely without any quota system, without being denied. If you think, what's your thought about that? If you feel that is right, drop it in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about that. If it's deep, you can think about it. All right, it's been real. I've been keeping it real with you. Still your own boy, MC Bernardino. If you have any question, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. Hit me up on my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I get back to you as soon as possible. If you're new on this channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification button beside it, so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be among the first to get it. Don't forget to like this video, share this video with your loved ones. Until I come back to you guys, stay out of crime, be nice. See your own boy, MC Bernardino. One love. Peace out.